Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Thursday, October 13th, 2022. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. We are seconds past the release of the CPI data here. Looking at the daily time frame of the ES, you'll see we have just gone from the highs of the day to an outside day in mere seconds. In under a minute from the release, CPI data coming out 8.2 versus 8.1 estimate year over year, 0.4 versus 0.2 month over month as well, and seeing an outside reversal to the downside. Today could be one of those days where we go 125+% of ADR. We're already there from a 6-day basis here as we continue to break out, but breaking this down into a 1-day ADR, we're looking for 125+% of ADR and more. We have an entire hour before the RTH opens, so we could be looking at big time opens to the downside if this continues the way it is. But the break here at 3600, if this continues to be the way it is right now, breaking at 3600 is a transition day that could lead to quite a bit of selling pressure ahead. We already had a narrow 3-day range that was developed. That narrow 3-day range right there suggests a move of 200+ points upon a breakout move. And so looking at this right here, 220 points. If we look at the current high of the day, 36.44, that means 220 points from there puts you at 34.24. So about 34.20 could be the downside target up ahead, as this continues to see weakness right now. So looking for continued weakness, a big time break. If we close near the lows of the day here through this 3600, it could be a significant violation of this edge, and we could be looking for a push into that 33.6175 target. That's the 50% extension there, and then we could be looking at a continuation over time to that 30.75. That's the 100% extension from this key range right here. So again, some downside targets to reach if we continue to remain below that 3600 by the end of the day. If we take a look here at the NQ, this one also seeing an outside reversal here today, taking out the highs barely, going out to the lows and becoming an outside reversal in under a minute. Very similar to last time we saw the inflation data come out. It was an outside day in a few minutes and then continued throughout the rest of the session. Right here, narrow 3-day range. This 3-day range suggests a move of about 800 points. And from the high of 11K, we're looking at 10,200 as the downside target up ahead. So down here, 10,002 is this level right there. That's the target on a 3-day range basis. That could be hit very soon here. And additionally, we're looking for a move to the 10,130. That's the 50% extension from the key range. The 100% key range target would be 91.91 down here, which could be hit over the next several weeks. So again, big time break to break through 11K the way we are and see that type of move right there. We could be looking at further weakness ahead if the market can close on these lows. That means that if we don't see some sort of significant rejection at these lows and see a huge reversal, then we likely see a transition day instead, and we continue downward, the path of least resistance right now. If we take a look here at crude oil, this one's down right now 1%. This one had a significant rejection here on the upper end of the recent range as it rallied. We're now right in that sweet spot between 85 and 87s here, and that's a big time zone. If bulls can keep it bid, we might see a higher low develop here, but really this market has been downtrending for quite a while here. Strength has been sold, and giving up this 85 could open a path to new lows ahead. So this is going to be a big time level here. If bulls can keep it bid, we might stay within this upper range here. Otherwise, taking that out and we drop for another round of weakness up ahead. 85 continues to be a key level to watch. Looking at Bitcoin here, Bitcoin's down 5% right now. Down 5%, sitting at 18,160 at the moment. Again, very narrow range of price action over the last several days, but for the most part, this looks like it's building up for a potential break and likely to the downside. Again, we have a market right now that's building out a rounded behavior. And with that rounded behavior right now, we're seeing price mostly hug the lower right edge of that behavior. So again, this is the edge right here where a break could happen. And once it does happen, it opens up quite a bit of downside LVN targets here through 15, through 12K if it can get there. So it could be a significant break if it were to do that. Again, this market has been able to hold 18K very well lately, but whenever it does break, it could be significant. Until then, we could be mostly sideways. Looking at ETH, this one's down 7% right now and appears to be trading, at least initially, through the bottom of this narrow range. This is a multi-week range that's developed here right at the 13K or 1300 level. And again, to get a downside break here, if this thing fails to rebound and bounce back into the range, this could be a transition day that leads to the bottom here of the recent range. This range back here could be in play all the way back down to 1,000 and perhaps lower. So right now testing 1,200 here with the potential to see more weakness ahead. So right now this market reeling here on increased inflation data here with the potential to see more downside in the days ahead. Again, based off the 3-day ranges here that these have developed over the last 3 sessions, we could be looking at a significant 3-day range up ahead, starting with today's high. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.